not a big fan of horse racing because I'm not a big fan of watching people ride animals in circles, unless the animals are lions and the jockey is in fact wearing a meat suit, in which case he or she would have done more than enough to earn my respect. Wearing a stupid hat while you hit a horse with a stick? Not quite. And so it is with the greatest possible amount of insincerity that I call this a sports game. This is Champion Jockey, G1 Jockey, and Gallop Racer for the PlayStation 3. And in addition to having a title I find to be as dull as it is utterly meaningless, this is also a monumentally unentertaining video game. Tecmo Koei is going for an untapped market in video games, horse racing games. In fact, not only are they going for it, but they're going with all whips cracking. Champion Jockey is complicated on a scale that would make even the most realistic racers look like they're cutting corners. The problem is, it's never exactly any fun either. Champion Jockey has an unbelievably and frankly unnecessarily complex setup. You can play with either a standard DualShock controller or the PlayStation Move, with which you actually gesture. Neither has any inherent benefits, apart from the fact that a regular controller doesn't require moving your arms to simulate animal abuse. So we went with that one. But no matter which you choose, though, expect to be totally befuddled by Champion Jockey. I'm not even sure how to describe how you play this game, but I guess the simplest explanation is that it's kind of like a rhythm game. I mean, you tap a button in the rhythm of the horse's pace to drive the horse, whatever that means, all while trying to keep this gauge green, and then you have to alternate that button with another button to whip. I mean, you'll literally spend hours trying to figure out what you're supposed to do in these races, and that was on the supposedly easy setting. There are also two others that are more advanced. Any more advanced and my brain would have exploded. Of course, as you struggle to grasp how to actually race, you realize it doesn't even matter all that much. That's because horse racing is actually a small portion of the total experience in Champion Jockey. You spend a lot more time managing the stable, negotiating races, working on your horse's statistics, scrolling through endless text and talking head cutscenes. This is like the career mode in a Madden game with 3 times as much detail and 3 times less actual sport. You spend all this time talking and reading and managing, and then you finally get to race a horse or jump over some obstacles, and it's all over in like a minute. So the game's definitely lacking in action, and frankly, even racing, but Champion Jockey doesn't make up any ground in terms of presentation either. The graphics are bland and dated, and the lack of voice acting makes the game's already burdensome management seem all the more tedious. I mean, this game is just walls and walls of text. Someone needs to break the walls down! Champion Jockey is interesting in that its mere existence suggests someone thought a horse racer needed to be this complicated. And maybe if you're into the horse racing scene, you might agree. There's definitely credit to be given in terms of this game's staggering amount of control complexity and management nuance. But I'm not sure an appropriate outlet for those features is a horse racing game.